Hi, everybody. I'm here today with our live studio audience talking about the quadratic formula. So when you have a quadratic equation, the thing that you often want to know the most is what the zeros are. So all that means is that if this is equal to 0, this is a quadratic equation because it's squared. If you look at that graph, the zeros are where you cross the x-axis, just like that. So we're looking for these 2 points right here. And the quadratic formula is a foolproof way to make that happen. There's 3 ways to solve a quadratic equation. One is with factoring. One is with just guess and check. And the quadratic formula is just kind of the most foolproof way that'll deal with any quadratic equation at all. Ooh. So here we go. Minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. This is what x equals. These are the zeros right here. And a is going to be the coefficient of the x squared, and b is the coefficient of x, and then c is whatever numbers at the end. So for us here, our a is going to be 3, our b is 7, and c is negative 20. And so we're going to put these into the formula. And we'll say the zeros equal negative b, that's negative 7, plus or minus the square root of b squared, that's going to be 7 squared, minus 4 times a times c, all over 2a, just like that. And we're going to do some arithmetic, and we'll see that x is going to be negative 7 plus or minus 49. And this is going to be negative 12 times negative 20. That's plus 240 over 6. And that is going to be negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 289 over 6. And luckily, the square root of 289 is 17. X is negative 7 plus or minus 17 over 6. And that is going to be negative 7 plus 17 over 6, or negative 7 minus 17 over 6. And finally, this is 10 over 6, or negative 24 over 6, which is negative 4. Thank you. So now let's check our work. I'm going to look at my graphing calculator right here, and we're going to turn it on, push y equals, and we're going to just graph this quadratic equation by pushing 3x squared plus 7x minus 20. And look at the graph. You can see I missed part of it down here, so I'm just going to go to window and make the y go down, not to negative 10, but perhaps minus 20. And so good enough. I want to see if this is 10 over 6 or 5/3. And I want to see if this is negative 4. You can do that by pushing trace, and negative 4 for x, y is 0. Sure enough, that's my 0. And then over here, we could do 10 over 6. And sure enough, that is also 0. So those are my zeros. And just one last thing, if you really want to see your graph, maybe we go down to 30, and we could count by 5s and just see the whole thing there. So there you go. That's how the quadratic formula works. As long as you have something with x squared, that's a quadratic equation. Just plug in the a, b, and c into this formula. It'll spit out your 2 zeros. So thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you again soon.